know, to do
Yes.
that stuff. And like I say, maybe we should take a look at doing some improvements up there.
Yep.
If there's anything we can do, because it gets a lot more use than you realize, because you don't see the cars parked there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Jerry's been up there and he's talking about putting a set of steps there for, it's kind of weird when you go up there, you know. It would be nice to have some steps with a railing because, you know, not as young as I used to be and agile, so I almost went down.
Yeah, we should take a look at that, you know, if we have to put some improvements into that, because we got an investment there, it's a good spot.
Yep.
Well, if no one else has any discussion, I'll call for a motion that we approve Carla Moberg for the Parks Commission.
I'll make that one.
Motion made by Hadrava, do you have a support?
Support.
Support by Rousey, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Do you have anyone from the audience who wants to address the council at this time? If not, I'll move on to the consent agenda, which is just approval of payroll, August 16th through the 31st. No one has any questions on that? Call for a motion and we approve the payroll on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey, you got a support?
Support.
Support by Koivunen, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. No public hearings, no unfinished business. Under new business, item 1, resolution adopting proposed tax levy for 2021. And this is our number here, $2,138,448. Anybody have any questions on a proposed levy? When do we have our, in December, Jackie, is that when we have our final?
Correct, that needs to be
Okay.
certified by the end of December.
Anybody have any questions on the proposed levy? If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve it. Motion made by Rousey, we have a support.
I'll support.
Support by Hadrava, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 2, resolution adopting proposed budget for year 2021. I know we've had a number of meetings, and I think we got it done as much as we can this far in advance. Anybody else have any different ideas, or we just want to go with what we came up with?
I think we covered it pretty well.
Okay.
Pretty well good, and if something comes up, we take care of it anyway.
It's hard
So-
6 months in advance, you
Yeah.
know.
We chewed that cabbage a couple of times. So
Yeah, I think we're in good
Okay.
shape.
Well, then I'll ask for a motion that we adopt a resolution adopting our budget for 2021.
Well, so move.
Motion made by Koivunen, do I have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Hadrava, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 3, set date for public hearing to discuss the proposed budget for tax 2021. That's our final one. What are we looking at on the calendar there, Jackie?
Okay, so, has to be after 6 PM. So you could choose to do it at 6 PM after a council night, and so in December, you guys meet on the 1st and the 15th. Joe, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Remember, notices go out to all the property tax owners.
Right.
It says, here's your proposed tax based on the preliminary levy, and then we come and speak with you about it, and then you guys set.
We had it at the auditorium last year,
You did,
didn't we?
yep,
What do
yep.
you think about having it there? It's a little easier for people to get in.
No, we can do it, we want to do it on the 1st, because your second meeting's the 15th, then you would probably be adopting the final levy and budget.
Everybody in agreement, we'll do it on the 1st, and we'll have it at the auditorium? Okay. Call for a motion that we schedule our public hearing to discuss the budget for 2021 for December 1st at 6 PM at the city auditorium. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 4, recommendation to hire
I don't
firefighters.
think anybody
Make
made a
that a little bit
motion.
short on a
Whoa.
motion.
Nobody made one. I'll make one.
Oh, okay.
And I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? was talking about China, I'm starting to do stuff like that. You guys really, we're working pretty hard. We got a lot of candidates here for the fire department. If everything's good to go, then I'm gonna ask for a motion that we approve the recommendation to hire these individuals for firefighters.
I will make that motion if no one else will.
Motion made by Rousey, do we have a support?
I will support that.
Support by Koivunen, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Number 5, amended joint powers agreement relating to establishment of a joint cable television access board. Did we have something like that years ago?
So actually, we have an agreement, but it included the old school district. And when they
Oh,
combined, now
okay.
the new school district, there was some concern that the agreement didn't reflect the new thing, when actually probably it was fine the way it was. But Noel Schmidt, the superintendent, met with some commission members and they made some modifications, so they brought
Oh,
us to
okay.
ask for approval on it. Sure.
And I didn't get a chance to read this, but I'm gonna trust your page. This is,
Yeah.
they okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be upfront with that.
Anybody else have any questions on the agreement? If not, I'll call for a motion that we accept this amended agreement for joint cable television access board.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen, do you have a support?
Support.
Support by Lillis, any further discussion?
Where'd they move to? They're not, they lived in Eveleth for quite a few years and now they're, where, Hibbing?
Well, no, they're still up at the high school.
Okay.
That's where the studio is, so I'm guessing that they're working with the well to figure out where they're gonna locate
Oh,
in the new construction, for the event, so.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 6, joint powers agreement, Eveleth, Virginia Airport Authority. This is the final.
Yes,
We had all our readings, those are all done?
those were the ordinances, and then this is a joint powers agreement, that's not an ordinance, so those are required multiple readings.
Anybody have any questions on that?
is this the final
Yeah.
step?
If not, I'll call for a motion that we approve the joint powers agreement, Eveleth, Virginia Airport Authority.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey, do I have a support?
Support.
Support by Koivunen, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Item number 7, revised ambulance guidelines, EMS, EMT position descriptions, and EMS shift supervisor position description. You guys are working pretty hard, I see, on this. Did we make any significant changes to any of these positions, or? That might reflect a compensation change or something like that, or?
Yeah, I don't think anything that would reflect
Oh, okay.
compensation change. Primarily, the requirements were changed somewhat, requirements for service and so forth.
Oh, okay. Cause I don't wanna get behind like we did the last time. You know, I mean, the-
Other thing was that it's kind of just keeping up with the times
okay,
so that we have guidelines that reflect current atmosphere.
I was concerned about the pay part, cause we were so far behind, and every time we'd ask, everybody was saying it was fine, and then we found out it wasn't fine when it came down to it.
And we addressed that and I guess we wouldn't be considering any changes to that at this point in time.
Okay. Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, I'm gonna call for a motion that we approve these revised ambulance guidelines.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Koivunen. You know, it's a lot of work doing this kind of stuff. People don't realize. A lot of factors involved in changing something, like you say, regulations, times, the operation. No further discussion?
I would just like,
Yes,
I think I should abstain because I'm not comfortable voting on the conditions of my employment. 'Cause I do
Okay.
work for you. All right,
yeah, that's,
so I don't think I should.
that sounds fair, John.
So I abstain.
Okay, do we have a motion on the floor for that? You make
Yes.
one, Brian? Yeah. Motion and a second too? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. And one abstention. Opposed? Motion carried. Number 8, approval to hire additional EMTs. This is just to go ahead to, oh yeah, we don't have the actual,
No, because
Personnel.
things are in process of that.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't work.
no, I was just wondering.
Yeah, so, yeah, and you guys did this like last year, the
Yeah.
year before, if you're comfortable with it. Well, just keep working ahead.
Okay, then we'll call for,
I got one question.
yes.
And it's just a matter of, I should know this, but I don't. I know there's a 48 hour requirement. How many people can we have on that everybody gets their 48? You know what I mean? There should be a number now. And if you don't have it now, I think we're still.
Oh, you mean the minimum, how many?
Because you have to make a minimum amount of shifts,
Right,
and if you have too many people,
then you can't be.
you can't make a minimum shifts.
John, I think we're okay because
I think we are.
because we have some holes sometimes still that appear in the shift, so.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what is the usual crew for an ambulance? Is it 2?
Three
3?
Three.
person.
Well, if somebody's short a shift, maybe,
Well, and we do run the two when we.
run a 4-man crew maybe if so somebody,
There's been some jobs,
Okay.
that's in their ball as far as different plans that are out there, so.
okay.
And I think this kind of, gives us a little bit of latitude to, get some additional staff on board, because I know we're gonna have some transition, no doubt, folks out of the service, and we're looking at, trying to implement another program with the ambulance service, so.
And also if we lose an EMT to COVID and are out for a couple of weeks, you know, you do a couple of those and you're really hurt, so.
You're in the
So-
person, you're the guys that are left in the ground.
Correct, and we don't want to do that to anybody, so.
So, and I guess, I suspect by your request, or asking for our approval to hire, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to hire 5,
Oh,
correct?
correct. Like I got 2 in the hopper and another application just came in. So.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? We have a motion on that, Steph?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll call for a motion that we approve the hiring of additional EMTs. So moved. Motion made by Koivunen, do I have a support? Support by Kundrava, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. All right. We got everything set up, we know what we're gonna buy here, radios, pagers, and Lucas device quotes.
And then we have, some additional funds yet to spend, and Tim and Teresa and I met, yesterday and discussed it, and I'm hoping that we can maybe have a little workshop next week, so we can focus some of those items on, instead of
Okay.
us just moving ahead with our use.
We have to use those funds by November,
Yes,
or is it the end of November?
no, like the 15th,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, it's a really big number, but the public should know that, we received,
Yeah.
aid from the coronavirus relief, for $271,903. So that will cover what we are considering purchasing at this point, and we need to discuss what we want to do with the remainder of the proceeds.
And this is just for the city of Eveleth's, Motorola stuff, isn't it?
Just ours.
Yes, because the last time we had this, it was 440,000, and we were involved with 3 cities.
And this
So,
includes,
What, 4 years ago?
Yeah, that's just to let the people know that it is expensive for this stuff, so.
the nice thing is that we can outfit our police, fire, and ambulance.
Yes, I know we were talking a little bit about that.
Yeah, and everybody's in bad need of radios,
Yeah.
and communications is so important.
Well, we can't have our
future
people
goals.
without it in case they're in a dangerous spot or position, and I mean, you gotta have a radio.
Without a radio, it's a step backwards. You have to continue.
Well, all these units are compatible because you know it is trying to piecemeal different
Oh, yeah.
departments with stuff. No, that sounds good. Good. It's communication, like you say, that's the key to everything.
It's nice to get that grant. I mean, that makes it all possible.
Pretty hard to get by at these prices.
Yes. Yep.
How long will it take to get this stuff? They give us kind of a timetable, or?
Teresa's got that, she's
Oh.
the mastermind behind gathering all the information, so.
And of course, these things always take time.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
Oh, you think, look how long it took us to get a squad car.
Now we got them flying all over town.
Yeah. Any further discussion? Call for a motion, that we approve the purchase, these
So moved.
communication devices. You making that motion, Brian?
Yes, sir.
We have a support.
I'll support.
Support by Hadrava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 10, purchase agreement and resolution authorizing conveyance of real estate to Joseph and Joan Stelecker.
I think this will be a good thing, so I will so move.
Motion made by Koivunen, we have a support.
Support.
Support by Rousey. Any further discussion? Well, they built one new place out there. Looks
Yep.
like they're looking at doing another. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 11, purchase agreement and resolution authorizing conveyance of real estate to Brian Sandstrom. We have a motion.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen, we have a support.
I'll support.
Support by Hadrava. It's sure nice to have selling some more city property on the agenda, I'll tell
Oh,
you
I got a
that.
feeling we can sell some more too.
I've got a few more.
Oh, good.
Good, good. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. That takes care of new business. Anybody have any commission reports, or? I know it's been kind of a funny kind of a year with all this stuff going on.
Yeah, the Shared Services Committee had a meeting last evening. I attended via teleconference, which was kind of an interesting proposition. I guess folks that are sitting in the meeting room don't really realize what they sound like over the phone.
And Brian, I want to apologize right now, but we forgot you were there half the time.
That's quite all right. A lot of people do that.
Talking about you, never you.
Well, I was listening.
Yes, I know you were,
But-
you're quite attentive.
Got it eat, huh?
You know, what I guess I got a really good feeling out of that meeting. I know the prior meeting may have gone astray just a little bit, but, you know, I got a good feeling that we're back on track and everything's going forward as it should be. And everyone, I think, seems to recognize that we all need to be patient and, you know, allow this pretty mammoth opportunity to get rolling.
Just about every topic that was presented had some movement on it, or was being thought of and was gonna be moved on or worked on. I thought it was an excellent meeting compared to the last one, and you know what I'm talking about. And, we moved forward, and it went good. I think, and I'll say it out loud, because I haven't filtered this, that it was just us there, there was no conductor, no fire marshal or
Yeah.
anything like that. And we talked and communicated like two neighboring communities up on the range too. The language might have got a little rough, not that you couldn't print it, but you know what I mean. It went well, I had a real good feeling.
You know, everything's got its own pace, no matter where you go. I mean,
Exactly.
you try to speed things up, you end up leaving stuff out, and
I just felt more comfortable without somebody orchestrating. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It moved, it flowed nice. I know you could tell that on the phone because there was.
Oh, no, without question.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So that's
Not that we
so
have to get rid of
important.
them, but it's nice to be away from the parents on that.
It's nice to see that moving ahead, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
It's-
it's moving, it's still a 3 to 5 year project, you know, it's simple as that, but we're moving ahead, you know.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of things, hopefully that'll start, you know, moving, because all this stuff that got put on hold, you know, it's for nobody's fault, it's just the way things are. And you kind of lose patience, but things will get back on track again.
And I have an HA meeting by phone at 3 o'clock, so I'm glad we're getting done with business.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm glad. Well, we're not at the tail end, I mean, I'm only been here a year and a half, but I know a little bit.
You know, I was gonna bring one thing up here too, like, you know, we're changing the joint powers agreement, and I think we should probably let the commission members that are on the airport commission, you know, give them a letter of thanks for their service, and that their service will be, what, ending, is it October 1st, or?
Yeah, so it's, the new agreement's effective October 1st, so the term will end September 30th.
And those, who, you know, qualify by the new guidelines, residency requests can just apply again.
I agree wholeheartedly, Mayor. You know, they've been out there working as a commission for many years, and
Yeah,
it should give them a letter of explanation and thank you for their service.
yeah, it's like I say, so nobody's hanging, they all kind of know what's going on. Things, so if they're interested and they live within the legal limits of the city by statute, they just reapply again. Let's put that in the form of a motion. Are you going to make that motion then,
I
Brian?
will, Mayor.
Do we have a support?
I'll support it.
Support, motion made by Lillis, support by Drava. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed. And I see our school project up there is moving along. Lots of rock, like you were saying, Brad.
I'd like to see us put it on the fast track for a little bit and see if we can get a permit to dump some in there in our 37 acre hole. And maybe we could build some, more industrial room out there.
Were there any permits in the process there, Jack? You know, in Virginia ran that gas line through there. I know we had wetland issues. Did they have some preliminary permits on some spots in there?
So they got some special permits, and then they did some directional boring also underneath the wetlands. And remember when they cleared that little bit of
Yeah.
5 acres we bought? They did some winter impacts, but in the winter time, then the stuff just grows back. So we'd have to hire somebody, so if you were to make a motion, I'd have to hire somebody that does that for a living. So there's a lot of nuances when you deal with the state and the DNR and the Army Corps of Engineers and that kind of.
But it can be done, because like we were talking, and I brought it up, when Polymet wanted to do some wetlands, they changed points, you know, there's so many points or
bought
something.
credits.
They bought credits,
They bought
and that's where the Moberg sod farm isn't there anymore, that's wetlands that they took from,
Sure, they converted the sod farms.
which
to
makes no
wetlands.
sense to me.
Yep,
I
so
mean,
you can either
The
buy.
wetlands is up there, so they make it here so they can dump stuff in the wetlands.
So you can buy credits, where you
Yeah.
can buy a wetland somewhere else, or you can create a wetland, like they did. So they created a wetland out of a sod farm, paid somebody probably a little amount of money, which is good, and they were able to fill them. I think the goal is to balance and not have a negative amount of wetlands, but like I said, you can contact the
I
appropriate
think we
people to
should
help us
look
with that.
into it because it's 37 acres.
Well, we're kind of landlocked.
Well, and
you know what I mean?
Right.
they're blowing up rocks there, we could dump them in, it'd be
And
a
if we
short
can put it as
haul.
fast as we could do it, possibly, we're never too late. If we get 2,000 yards dumped in there.
All they
with
can
a
do is
permit,
tell us no.
Yeah.
We're ahead of
Exactly
we're
right.
ahead of the game than we were.
Yeah, all they can do is tell us no.
That's all they can tell us is no. So I would say let's, you know, I want you guys to think about that. I wanna go forward with it as fast as possible because they're building schools, man. They're tearing the rocks out. Now's the time to fill it. They're about a block away.
Do you think we could have maybe a quick workshop and maybe have Alan give us a little lowdown, kind of what he thinks we'd need for there and what we'd have to do?
We can, I think Alan and I probably concur on what we have to do, but sure, let's have it.
Yeah, because we have a little workshop, so everybody here has an idea what's involved, you know, making a request and doing something like that. So we get a little bit of an idea. Anything else from any board meetings or anything? You guys seem to be doing a lot up the fire department there.
We have that, this afternoon, we have 4 o'clock to interview for some promotions, which is always a good thing.
That's nice to see. It really is. Well, do you have anything further, Brian?
No, sir.
Tonight, Joey,
No, I have nothing.
Brad, John? I don't. Chief, you got anything to bring up?
Mayor, just October 1st is right around the corner, and with that, the
Oh,
calendar part.
calendar
Oh,
parking,
no.
ugh.
How many warning tickets do you give out before?
We will give ample warnings.
We'll give ample warning.
I think we did 2 weeks last year, you know, that was pretty good.
It's that time of year
That's,
again.
you know, that creeps up so fast, then when the weather's nice, people are wondering why, you know?
Right.
Well, it seems like it's 8 months out of the year we're Calvin Park, and it creep up fast, it's always here, it seems like.
It does. Is that it, chief? You don't have anything else for us? Jerry, you have anything to add?
The only thing I have to add here is, starting Monday, we are having a fall cleanup for the
Yes.
2 weeks actually session. And we'll be open, till 6 o'clock for the 2 weeks.
Good, good.
2 years of retirement, and my garage is full of junk.
I'll tell you what, I think that those later hours has really been helpful for everybody.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's,
A lot of happy faces when
Yeah.
I looked on there, boy, we're glad we can bring this year, and boy, we're glad. Yeah, you're glad you're from Eveleth, because if you weren't, you couldn't read here.
oh
Oh, they
jeez.
didn't like me much.
Well, you know, a lot of the people work until 4 or 5 o'clock, and now they still
Well,
have
they
Exactly.
always- And they always wanted a Saturday too, but I know how tough that is. We tried it that one year, but it doesn't work out. So the late hours are working, I think.
Well, this time of year too, people are, hunting season starting, all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? It's,
We could have a lot there because with this COVID going on, a lot of people had a lot of time to stay home and clean stuff.
I got twice as much dormer as I used to. Not so much garage.
Ellen, do you have anything to add for us?
And then Mayor, the shoreline stabilization project is kind of the last thing that, going on in that work, that's wrapped up as of last week, so.
We took a
We'll
walk.
be building that.
Looks
Next
pretty
month,
good.
we'll probably see a pay request at that first meeting in October for that.
Okay, that's,
Yeah, look good.
Jackie, you have anything to bring up?
I don't, but Stephanie might still be recruiting for election judges.
You have a few that come forward, I can have a few more.
You had a pretty good setup up there. Where you guys had everybody rooted around and stuff to vote and everything. I imagine it'll be the same type of setup when the general election comes.
Yeah, it's a little different with polling, for policy regulations.
I have a question. I don't want to pick a scab or anything. Well, you know, do we send out ballots? Or does that all come out of government at a higher level?
Is that county?
Whatever. I just want to know how that's handled, you know, before mail-in and absentee. Can we apply here for absentee and they deal with that?
Right, the city, we handle all of the absentee voting here, so if anyone wants to do that, they fill out an application, and then we process that and send it out to them.
Suppose it's gonna be a complicated process. It gets more complicated every year, it seems to be. I don't know, something that's that simple. Used to be simple, but, oh
Not
well.
anymore.
Anything else, Steph? Anyone from the audience like to address the council? If not, then I'll adjourn this meeting.